just come in there and look for knockouts, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, I'm here. Who won the fight? Me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Man, productive day once again. And I feel like I did everything I needed to do to allow myself to talk about boxing once again. And I had a lot of these things, I had a lot of things in a funnel and things I wanted to talk about and boxes I wanted to get around to. And I'm having time now that the circus has left town. And I already packed it up. Only thing left from the circus is probably Ryan being in my adversity university. That's about it. That's about all I have on this. But tonight I'm going to talk about Tank, man. Last time I really did something on him was probably inclusive when I did the piece on when boxers go dark. Because I was talking about Jamel Charlo going dark. I was talking about Earl Spence going dark. Tank going dark. A lot of the boxers I rock with, Matias went dark for a second and he popped back out, but we always get a Koki! Salute Koki! Time for that body work. You know it, Koki. But appreciate you. Hope all is well, man. He been part of the 300. You know what I'm saying? And I really salute all my people from 300. I ain't seen a lot of people, man. I guess they want that Saburo Matias. I'm gonna get around to it. It's just some things that have been in the funnel I was supposed to do last week, but I said no. With the circus in town, this shit gonna get swallowed up. So I really didn't want to do it. During that week, I just said, you know what? I'm gonna let the circus pass because that's all people wanted to talk about. I made my contributions over there in the smoke section as usual. That's like hanging out at the bar. That's like light sparring. We got it in. We get it in all the time, man. And it's a valuable asset. If you have not subscribed to Smoke Session Sports and Entertainment, man, you are doing yourself a grave injustice, man. It's like one of the realest channels, man. It has one of the most comfortable environments where if you really want that smoke, you can come get it. You know what I'm saying? And he don't just stick to boxing. He talks about sports. He'll get into some of the messy stuff. If you like that, he go in, man. And we've been cool since day one. I met a lot of people through him. That's how I met AC and a bunch of people, man. Boom Boom, Boxer, Blair, Boxer. Through his channel, man, he doing some big things. And I don't think that his channel gets the recognition that it deserves. And he's one of the most genuine people, down to earth people that you can meet, you know what I'm saying? So we get over there, we do our thing. Sometimes it'd be a little war, sometimes it'd be tribal, sometimes it'd be, it'd be a little bit, it'd be a mixed bag, but we always have fun and we always come back to the bar, but I wanted to give him a shout out, man. And if you can, subscribe to his channel, look him up, support his channel, help him grow. It's important that we help each other grow. And I think he needs a push. You know what I'm saying? I would like for him to get a push So if you subscribe to my channel, subscribe to his channel. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of time when I'm not over here and I'm not over here talking boxing on my own channel. Crush, I meant to say Crush too. If Crush is over there, D Free is over there. Some of the realest dudes, you know what I'm saying, I've ever met and talked to in boxing, the ones that keep it all the way a buck about boxing, that they don't pull no punches. The kind of people that I like, that's gonna keep it all the way funky. You know what I'm saying? And they actually pay attention. They not in pocket or nothing like that, man. But if I'm not talking boxing, if I'm over here and I'm in one of my moments where I'm not feeding any of my trolls or feeding anybody that's doing antis to my videos, more than likely you can catch me over there still chopping it up, either in the comment section or up on the panel as I have time. So that's my commercial for Pop and his channel, man. But tonight I'm going to be talking about Tank. Last time I talked about him, like I said, was when Jamel Charlo and I did when boxers go dark, and I was talking about, you know, what you're supposed to do when your boxer go dark, especially in this era where, you know, you got an online presence, and sometimes the online presence kind of overshadows what's really going on in boxing, because you have a lot of people out here, you know, I'm gonna have to coin my phrase, echo chambers, because everybody using it. Everybody using it, man, but they don't want to credit the source and where they got it from. But if you got all of these little satellite stations, I'm gonna say, if you got these satellite stations, man, that's all, you know the satellite out there, just one of the, it's like 7 or 8 satellite stations that's just going to like say the same things over and over again. You know, it's like, well, if somebody know that you can go to that station, just like you can go to 7-Eleven or McDonald's and get you one of them funky ass hot dogs, you know, one of them them motherfucking light beam Jamaican patties that'll have your stomach doing the Macarena if you eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got those kind of things everywhere, and they tend to be the ones that get the most the perceived substance out of them. Like, a lot of people perceive a lot of substance out of them, but it's not. It's just like 7-Eleven. You go to every hood, it's gonna be 1,000 7-Elevens and 800 McDonald's. You can get that shit everywhere. I be trying to tell y'all, that's not this channel. You know what I'm saying? This is gourmet. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I always like to compare it to that old bookstore that you have to go to when you really want to look up something, like some deep information, or you want to know something about something that ain't just in Barnes and Nobles and all that. No, when you want to go get them collector series or more about this one specific author, I try to be authentic and try to make it like that. So when it comes to Tank, now we got to bring up gaslight when it comes to Tank. I'm not going to give y'all the definition, but you know, gaslighting is a form of manipulation in which the manipulator manipulates the manipulatee with the form of psychological warfare, you know, playing games, they name call, they act like they forgot, they omit, you know, all kind of different things to try to like make you question your reality. So when it comes down to Gervonta Tank Davis, man, I always say that Tank like for a long time, right? And you used to go in there to get something. Everybody was going. I know in South Carolina it was a spot called Clifton's. They had some of the best. In Columbia, South Carolina, there's a spot called Clifton's. You go up in there, man, it's packed out, man. Everybody standing around. They like, excuse me, pardon me, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just in there, and it's one of those things to where sometimes it's not until the place shuts down and closes down that you don't really you don't truly appreciate it the way that it should be appreciated. I say all that to say that Tank is one of them guys that I say this all the time. He's one of those guys that you're not really going to appreciate him until, like, fully appreciate him until he hang up the gloves. It's a sad, stark reality, you know what I'm saying? Because I do think he is one of a kind in this era, man. I think he's a throwback fighter. I think for his dimensions, his size, you know, his whole mentality, his background, his coaching. Like, it's just a unique situation, man. And I see why he goes by the one. But in this episode, I was calling him the prophetic one. You know, that's the nickname he gave himself. We know him as Tank, but I was calling him the prophetic one. Why you say that, Mike? If you listen, I'm gonna tell you, right? I say that because he came out a while ago and he was saying some things in some interviews. He was saying some things in some interviews, and he was talking about Turkey. And people were asking him about, you know, the whole thing about, you know, they was asking him a little bit about, one time they asked him about the 20 million and all this and all that. Tank was basically saying that he's like, man, if I go over there, then they gonna do this and they gonna do that, and you know, and everybody know I don't gotta remind you exactly what he said. Why? Because those 7-Elevens and the McDonald's, they harped on it a lot. Like all day, every day for weeks. You know what I'm saying? At the time, they harped on it. That was like their claim to fame when he was saying that stuff. And then we saw some things happen. We saw some things occur with Turki Al-Sheikh and a couple of the PBC fighters. One of the things that we saw was Carlos Adames go over there and fight Hamza Shiraz. Now, me and AC were like, I would say we big fan, but it's kind of early, but we would say we were advocates for Hamza Shiraz. We was like, man, we see this dude's skill set. We was like, okay, he might be next. So we became fans of Hamza Shiraz. We became fans of Hamza Shiraz, and we both had made our predictions about the fight and what was going to happen in that fight. And for me, I never was really high on Carlos Adames. You know, I mean, I had seen some of the fights and all that, but I was never really high on him. But I want to rewind. I want to go back, and I don't want to go over the fight and what Turki did, you know what I'm saying, just yet. I want to go into some of the things that was being reported when Carlos Adames was trying to get to the fight. He was basically saying, you can go to Broadway Joel. He's probably the most inside on it. Like, he the one who he called himself like the voice of Dominican boxing. You can go to him and get all of the tidbits and, you know, all of the minutia on that. Because I know he follows all of them guys, Rohan Polanco and Carlos Adames, and I know he knows about the Grenade, Edwin De Los Santos. So if you want to know about the Dominican fighters, Alberto Puello, if you want to know about the Dominican fighters, you know, even some of the Puerto Rican fighters, you could pretty much go over there, you know, and get that information. But back then, he was basically saying that he was getting stuck at the airport. They was giving him a hard time and all this. And I'm just like, man, they, you know, at the time, I'm like, well, yeah, you know, people gonna say whatever to kind of dredge up some things, you know, to make, you know, I guess sometimes there's so much stuff that happened in boxing, you kind of question everything, or some of it's not believable, some of it is believable, you know, some of it you just gotta wait and see. I mean, we seen with Schofield, you know, people still waiting and seeing, but I'm gonna touch on that just a teeny bit. But Carlos Adames was given a hard time just getting into the country, getting held up at the airport. Things that'll make you irritated, agitated, because a fighter's comfortability going into a fight is everything, right? So I didn't really think much about that, you know what I'm saying? And then when Carlos Adames actually made me eat some of the best crow I've ever had, aside from when Devin beat Regis, and he put hands on Hamza Shiraz. He proved me totally wrong. He outboxed him. He went to his body. His head movement was wow. Like he did a lot of things almost kind of like how Canelo was. Now Canelo, he got, he'll pressure a little bit more and get you in that corner. And of course, I think Canelo has more power. But it was like vintage Canelo-esque performance for a guy like Hamza Shiraz in the style. And then we seen the whole debacle with Turki basically doing his thing. Everybody else talked about it. This is not new information. You know what I'm saying? I'm not claiming to be first with this information. These are things that's been observed and talked about, a lot. So we saw what happened with Turki, and they wound up making that a draw, and Carlos Adames felt like he got robbed. And I would say, yeah, I mean, you can't get robbed on a draw, but like he did get robbed on a straight pure victory. And granted, I was pulling for Hamza Shiraz based on the skill set and what I saw, like the style and all that. I was pulling for him. So we had that, and that was one of the things that made people go back and listen to what Tank said about going over there and messing with the Turk, because it's all this pressure. It was all this pressure, all this talk about Tank going over there and messing with Turki. And I'm just like, man, like people who are in business or have business or deal with contracts or, any kind of thing, man, it's like you just looking at it like, that's why I say a lot of casuals had the conversation, because casuals were running like people off the cliff with these, like, with the thoughts and ideas that they were spreading online about just getting down with Turki, kissing the ring and, and just holding hands, all this stuff that you had to do. And it's just like, no, man, who is this guy? Like, it's people that's already over here. It might not be many, but there were people that was already over here that was already really established. Many of my favorite guys, they are, with the exception of me, like branching out and finding new guys and, looking for the future and all that. I'm talking about a lot of my guys that's in my boxes to watch, they're pretty much already established. Why? Because you can't get into my boxes to watch if I haven't had time to watch you. They were already established. Jamel Charlo was established, undisputed, probably perhaps the most disrespected, undisputed champion out there. He's almost like an afterthought when you talk about undisputed. And then the value of his undisputed at 154, they perceive as being the least value, when I would probably say it's closer to the highest value. Why? Because of the competitiveness of the 154 division and him going by getting those belts one by one by one, and he was not the people's favorite. He had a lot of people shitting on him just because he ain't gonna be on your interview. He ain't gonna be in your interview. He ain't gonna be talking and all chummy with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he act like a real lion. You know what I'm saying? He messed with who he messed with. He messed with Ellie a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can see that. And then they had a little thing on YouTube, but he was already established. He got his undisputed. People act like it's an afterthought. Like he didn't do shit. Like everybody else who getting undisputed was just way better. He was already established. Errol Spence, already established. Tank, already established. It was no need, really. Like, I mean, even Canelo, it was really no need for Canelo to go over there and do what he did. I just think that it was just like Canelo knew that he had the boxing world by the cojones, right? He grabbed the boxing world by the pantalones and grabbed the cojones, and he pretty much just been He been going. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go get a big bag. 3-fight contract with Eddie. Oh, I'm gonna go get me a 3-fight contract with Al. Oh, I'm gonna go get all this money from Turkey. It's just like he just been up for, he just been chasing the bag. There was no need for him to go do that. And I was saying that with Tank being with Amazon, there was really no need for this man to really just like, he was like the pillar, because you gotta think a lot of people went kind of dark. Lash Puma Skills, salute. What it do? Bodywork, salute. I appreciate you for jumping in. But with him being a pillar on, much like I give this analogy all the time, much like when Top Rank did that deal that one time and they had signed Bud, and they leveraged the fact that they signed Bud to basically get that big contract. You know what I'm saying? Only they turned around and put all their money behind Fury and Lomachenko at the time. You can go back, look at the videos, look at what was going on at the time, but that's what happened. I was comparing it to this situation to where it was like, okay, we didn't know what was going on with Earl. Benavidez is starting a bubble. You know what I'm saying? You could pretty much say he's established now. He at least took off the runway. He is definitely not where he's going to be until he get in there with some more big names, even though he has a nice resume so far, when you really look at it. But you can reason that Tank was part of it. You can probably reason that Benavidez was probably part of it, because they were looking at their trajectories, the projection of it, and those were anchors on Prime. So them guys, you would have to reason that, yeah, they probably could do something, because, if you talk to the people and you can air it there, I can have the rights here, I can do all of that, you know what I'm saying? You could reason that some things could be worked out, but you had the reason that they would be like Prime would be their thing. I think Tank and Benavidez, and maybe they thought probably Canelo would probably do it, but then they couldn't put all their eggs on the Canelo basket, because you see what happened. And I think people like Al and them, I think they knew that Canelo was going to go do something else, because you can't really control the dude. Like, when you, like, the quote-unquote face of boxing, I mean, it ain't much controlling when you run everything. You your own, you know what I'm saying? You really your own thing. But it didn't stop people from pressuring Tank to try to go over there. And when he spoke about it, he caught a lot of flack. About it. So then it brings us to Monticello, considering his dwarfism, Tank is super inspirational. Ain't he though? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think you in here. Let's see. You did. Okay, so then it brings us to Bud gave the Turkey tour in, yeah. Yeah. We saw then. Okay, so then we saw, so that was, I gave you the Carlos Adames and how he got done, right, as a champion. Look, I'm a boxing fan. I like David just as much as I like Canelo and all that, right? But they're not really going to give credit. You're going to have a lot of people giving voice to things that are opposite of David Benavidez in favor of Canelo, or anything that's anti-PBC. And they were saying, man, like, because think about this. It's so crazy to hear, like, grown married men poking fun at people for something they call loyalty. They were poking fun at David Benavidez for his loyalty to the PBC. Ironically, some of these people, you can actually see how they actually do business. They are snakes. So you mean to tell me that somebody will put you on, build you up, give you opportunity after opportunity, you get you to a championship, you lose it, they get you back to a championship and give you all the fights in time, over time. And you see an example with many different boxers that was able to do that. But they'll sit up there and poke fun at David Benavidez for loyalty. And guess what? David Benavidez and AC, you on there, man. You on there. But
okay. I'll just chop in when you finish your good cook.
Okay.
You're cooking right now.
So even with all of that and all of the loyalty, I'm loyal to the PBC, and this is all of that talk, right? Guess what? Because a lot of people throw around this word consummate professional. As a consummate professional, showing that, hey, I'll give it what they call the good old college try. Guess what he did? He made arrangements and flew over there. He flew over and talked to Turkey. He made his intentions known. Hey, I want to fight the winner. You know, he sat there, he watched the fights, they had conversations. You could see him leaving, and something had happened. A lot of people had reported on that. Something had happened, right? And so he wound up leaving, but he gave it a try. Because you got to think, man, he wasn't just there on vacation. David Benavidez, I mean, I've seen and heard interviews where he was just like, yeah, man, we just, had a little vacation. I did this, I did that, you know what I'm saying? And, he's no stranger to traveling. David Benavidez been had bread. He been had bread. You know what I'm saying? People might not equate him with being on Forbes and all that, but David Benavidez ain't been hurting for money for a long time. He was not over there just for vacation. He was over there on business. To try to see, okay, let me go in there and see what Turkey talking about. Long story short, there was some things said he was supposed to be fighting the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev. And I'm guessing he found wind that he wasn't going to be getting the winner, and it was going to be a rematch and all. I guess that's the third one or whatever. So it didn't work. It didn't work. So he come back, and then the whole thing happened where you have Turkey basically saying, Bivol, don't bite the hand that feed you. You know, I was the one that gave you an opportunity. And this and this and that. And I'm just like, man, hold on. That's when I started questioning, okay, cool. You might be an avid boxing fan, but do you have boxing's best interest in mind? And you got to think, man, I'm no stranger. I'm not going to sit up here and deny. When I looked at it, because it's just like everything else. This was always my infamous question right here. Was he here to making American boxing great again? And that's me being selfish. Why? Because I'm an American. So a lot of the moves I was saying, okay, so what do that mean for us? It's just like if I was in the workplace, if I was still in the workplace working for somebody, I would be wanting to know, where is this company going? Are they outsourcing the work? What does that mean for us? As a boxing fan, a hardcore, I'm like, okay, this person can make a splash in the business. That person can make, or that company can make a splash in the business. That company can make a splash in the business. But what does that mean for us as boxing fans? So selfishly, I'm like, yeah, because that's what we can't control it. But like, I was just at a Boots fight, the Stan Giannis fight. I was at that fight when Tank was here in Baltimore at when he did the Royal Farms. I was at that fight. So yes, that's my selfishness to be like, okay, if the fights are here and it's like manageable in a good driving distance or whatever, I'm popping up, I'm showing up, especially if it's something I want to rock with. Going down to Atlanta, that would be nothing. That's my selfish interest as a boxing fan, American boxing fan. But you already know, if you know Bodywork, that I'm not selfish in the fact that I love boxers from all across the world.
Yeah, now this is where I wanted to come in, because you said some really good solid points. When the Turk came in, right, granted his first outing to try to set the precedence and do the test market was with AJ versus Andy Ruiz too. You feel what I'm saying? That's where we kind of saw his first real attempts at putting on something really significant in Saudi Arabia as far as championship quality, mega fight, blah 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 blah. Now here's the thing: that had a European fighter and an American fighter. So we were like, oh, okay, it's in Saudi. No one really made the connection and shit like that. And then, as things progressed, we saw these cards where, you had a fair amount of European fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like 60-40 type ratio of European fighters versus American fighters and things like that. But the thing where Americans started to question is, okay, we see you looking at some of the biggest names and stuff like that, but on the real shit, why would a fighter like Canelo Alvarez and Tank Davis, the two guys who are at the spear tip of talking about face of boxing, why wouldn't they want to fuck with you? What is it that you're saying or offering that these guys just came out and was like, nah, I ain't fucking with this dude? And right. Sometimes we got to ask these questions and to ask the question, all right, you're coming into boxing, are you here to build American boxing? Because the majority of your cards, they've been heavy with European fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So we can ask this question fairly. Like, are the fights that you're making to try to line up American fighters and show the greatness of European fighters because it's easier for them to get to Saudi and shit like that, basically could drive a bus, whatever. But here in America, we've already, seen the after effects of some American fighters going over there and either losing or having a bad showing or whatever. And it's not looking like it's faring that well, just on its appearance of right now. Because Top Rank, I don't know what it was, but we hear the stories of Jared Anderson with Bacoli. That was against their wishes, but Jared wanted the big fight, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And we saw the effects of that. He gets stopped and everything, and Bacoli's now on his way. Even after losing twice, he's still considered a star.
Yep.
So no, that's where I was gonna kind of land my cook. I just didn't want the fire truck in the background to fuck it up. But at the end of the day, man, it just really leaves people to question what is your intent with boxing, because your boxing league, if you got a lot of American fighters in there, I'm questioning it right now. I'm questioning the fact that Dana White is involved. I'm questioning the fact that you guys feel in order for your league to work, you got to fuck with parts of the Ali Act, which protects the fighters to some degree. So yeah, we got to keep asking these questions, be on this dude's neck, and be like, yeah, we like what you're doing, but at the end of the day, a wolf in sheep's clothing could fool everybody, for a minute. But guess what? It's still a wolf in sheep's clothing. So that's where I'm gonna land my plane with that.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep asking questions, and let's see, I just had to edit this. Yeah, okay, so that looked better. Okay, yeah, you're right, and that gave perspective. It's gonna lead me into something I was going to get into as well. Let me go back here real quick, just to wrap this up. So basically, this whole fiasco, the thing with let me put this back up. This whole thing with David Benavidez, right? It led Turkey to be able to say, I don't want that fight. And we was like, I know when I first heard it, I was like, what? Like, you don't want David Benavidez and Bivol? I was just like, and that was a head scratcher. I'm like, you don't want that? Like, why wouldn't you want that? And it's almost like this underlying thing to where no, let me get the Rolly because I gotta wrap it up. I'm gonna get the Rolly real quick, and then I'm gonna tie it all in and tell you what I think. But let's fast forward. Okay, so let's parking lot the David Benavidez and Bivol thing, and let's get over here to Rolly. And Rolly was saying that he came out and he's been doing excellent work here lately. That Rolly, you know what I'm saying? I always said I like Rolly outside I kind of like Rolly outside the ring. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of impressed by what he was able to do with Ryan because anybody can't do that. You know, just anybody can't do that. Year layoff and all that. Just anybody can't do that. And I didn't. Rolly made me eat crow on this one, but his little press run here lately. You know what I'm saying? He's seemed more level-headed. You know, he got a little off the rails. You know, before a little like one interview I seen, but out of all them interviews he gave, you know, it was not bad. But Rolly was saying that his money they wasn't giving his money, they wasn't giving him his per diem, they was like basically messing with his comfortability. And when I heard that Rolly said that, when I heard Rolly said, and you on here too, Pop. I'm just gonna wrap this point up. But when I heard Rolly say some of the things that he was going through or whatever, it reminded me about Carlos Adames being at the airport. And then it kind of reminded me about Schofield. Now, it's the reason why Schofield ain't on here, but I'm gonna land the plane because everybody heard and seen what Rolly said. The three guys on the right are guys that if he would allow them to fight one of his fighters, being PBC fighters, a lot of the fights that he would match up, because you know his whole reason was to be the financier or whatever, because people trying to shirk him of the responsibilities of being a matchmaker, but you can't do it because they were saying Turkey wants to make these fights. So if he made these fights and these guys were just as successful as Rolly was against Ryan, guess what happened? They could leave and be bigger stars, but be attached with who? The PBC. So when Tank came out in that interview and everybody was trying to say, oh man, like, you know, because he was saying, what if it go to decision? And everybody was gaslighting, talking about what, but he's a knockout artist. Why is he worried about that? And I'm like, man, y'all just being dumb right now. Y'all know what he's saying. But he wound up being real prophetic because of these instances. If you add in Floyd Schofield, even though AC has probably the strongest notion, I think, where he's saying he got tapped on the shoulder. So I'm leaning to the validity of some of it, even though we don't like, you know, Big Sco, you know what I'm saying? Some call him Auntie. Even though we don't like it, it's you know, it might be a little bit there, because you got to think, if Shakur got over there on the strength of Bud and Skull was able to get in there and upset the apple cart with Shakur, he would go back over there with Golden Boy, who was not Turkey's guy either, and be a bigger star. And then just to wrap it all the way up, Efe Ajagba, because everybody had their eyes on Jared Anderson. He go over there and get his ass busted by Martin Bacoli, respectfully. Bacoli go in there on a short notice, get his ass busted by Joseph Parker. Bacoli get, you know, he comes back, you know, have his little 60-day, you know what I'm saying, suspension. He come back, he go in there with Efe Ajagba and really get his ears boxed off. And towards the end, he started pulling it off. But at the end of the day, they called it a draw. And a lot of us that was watching, once again, just like the Shiraz and Adames, me and AC was both saying, hey, we had Bacoli. But we both looked at the fight and being honest boxing fans said that no. FA should have got his hands raised. And that's once again a decision that was made, even though that's a top rank guy, but that's why I didn't put him on here. But all that leads me to believe that Tank was kind of prophetic, man. Like he was kind of prophetic, and more people are starting to come around. I call them the hindsight boys, who starting to see shit in hindsight, who question everything Tank said in the present moment, like Rolly being the hardest punching, like telling Frank Martin that you ain't ready, you took this fight too early. A lot of the things and the things that he said about Turkey are starting to come true, but I got AC and Pop on here, man. What's going on? I know I said a lot, but that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. All I had, you know, to open up.
Pop, go ahead. You take it, bro.
I ain't gonna say nothing about Tank, because the next show that I gotta do, I gotta talk bad about Tank, because I promise these niggas they want me to be honest. So when it comes to Turkey, matter of fact, hey Body, I sent you something in your DMs. I sent a few people. Chris Eubank finally did a interview. I don't know if anybody's seen the shit.
Yeah, I was getting ready to watch it. I got it tabbed up. Bud did another interview recently too, on some dude I ain't never seen before.
The clip I was watching, Chris Eubank said he don't have to box again.
Wow.
Based on the money he got?
Based on the money he got from the Conor Ben fight. The shit I sent you, bro, when you check it, like, sometimes it be some funny shit, but that shit, he said he don't got to box again. You can check it right now if you want on your phone or on your Instagram. Like, he said he don't got to box again. He good. He pretty much good. You know what I'm saying? And just a spoiler on this shit. He said after the 7th round, when he got cut, everything started to kick in from what he had to do from the fight, the weight restriction, the rehydration, this, that, and the third, all that other shit. Like, he really spilled some shit out on that interview, and I'm like, but the one thing I took from it was that he said an outrageous number that he thought was outrageous, and the Sheik was like, bet, and he was like, fuck. And then, hold on, the nigga also asked him, hey, did you make towards 8 figures this fight? He was like, easy.
Wow.
I mean, internationally, Chris Eubanks is basically got the same kind of fan base and pull as a Conor Ben, and we know his name. I mean, not Conor Ben, but Ryan. If Ryan was able to pull off 20, why do you think Chris Eubanks wasn't able to pull off at least 15 at the minimum?
And then again, you know, them guys are like what AC said. Them guys is across the pond, man. Who is he set off over here? Who is he set off? Now with Bud, when Bud do, if you know, when that thing happened with Bud, and he pull off the number that they're talking about, if they pull off that number,
I mean, you got to give Bud. I mean, if I heard Canelo made 80 mil this weekend, bro. You're Bud gonna have to get when they fight, you're gonna have to give Bud something. You can't, and it ain't gonna be no 10, no 15.
Nah, I'm hearing
minimum 20.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. Shit 80 to 100, somewhere in between there. You know,
so the minimum that you're gonna give Bud to fight Canelo is definitely gonna be 20, 25 million. That's minimum. Bud may be looking for 40 mil.
Nah, bro, I was hearing the number supposed to be 100. That's what. For a minute, that's what people were saying. Bud gonna get clear 100 mil when he fight Canelo.
Yeah, they saying it's like 100. Canelo gonna make like 2. It's gonna be like 2-1. It's gonna be
Yeah.
some. They saying it's a $300 million
Fight.
fight. Remember when I asked D Free that? I asked D Free that on your channel. Like it was a couple weeks, about 2 weeks ago, but we talked about it.
Man, if Bud cleared 40 million off that fight, nigga, that's a happy day.
Man, I think he getting way more than 40, bro. I would.
He getting at least double that, man. He ain't going. I don't know if he even would do. I don't even know if that would be worth it for him to do that. Like for 40.
You ain't never seen 40.
But we ain't. I'm just saying it like this, bro. I think realistically, by the time the plane land and all of that, I think he gonna look at something like 80 mil to fight Canelo. You know, as the minimum. You feel what I'm saying? Because that would be anything less would be like a damn near 75-25, 80-20 type of thing for him.
Man, I'm not even paying Canelo the money that niggas think Canelo getting paid. You ain't getting that, nigga.
But however they landed, bro, listen, them dudes is gonna be set for the rest of their days. This is like that Floyd Mayweather versus, Conor McGregor type numbers we talking.
I just want to see the fight. I don't care how much they motherfucker. I don't care how much some of these niggas get paid.
Yeah, I don't care either.
I just want to be seeing the fight sometimes, man. Like that's just crazy. I be one. That's why. Matter of fact, we talking about boxing. I don't mean even. I was talking to Boom Boom today, y'all. Them niggas that were talking shit about him, he was on the phone with him. That nigga ducked him. Boom Boom gave him 3 weight classes to fight at. He said, "Man, get me off the phone with this nigga."
But they'll still turn around and get on social media and act like it's, promoters and, all of these other type of people that'll stop an amateur fight.
And right, cause hey, man, listen. Matter of fact, I can say it because he was telling me. When we got everybody got time, we can link up. We want to pull up to Omaha. We can pull up. That nigga said, "Nigga, we ain't got to worry about where we gonna stay at. They got a B&B for us."
That's what's up.
Oh snap!
I'm just saying. Whenever niggas got that time, and everybody free, we can like line that up. Cause he got a fight coming up on the 31st, if I'm not mistaken. He said he got like 1 or 2 more fights, and then he off and running. Body, I'm gonna link you with him because like your graphics got him fascinated.
He linked with me. He hit me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you his number. Did he give you his number?
Yeah. I talked to him.
Okay, cool. I will make sure of that one because he was like, "Yo, I like your body." I'm like, "Yeah, nigga, that shit be everything be fire." So, and he told me that one, and then he was saying some other shit too. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not nothing we ain't say to him on a whole nother channel, AC. But a certain person that runs content, we told him, "Hey man, you bullshitting not having the interviews and this, that, and the third, and you right there." I don't know if you was there on that one, Body, but me and AC was there on that one. We was on the Mac Mod channel. We talking to Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that should be your lane. Everything Omaha.
That shit should be your lane. That shit should be your lane. You know what I'm saying? That's like, it just really should be your lane. Like, and I'm about to get my damn J interview. I'm about to get another Boom interview. And I went and checked and I looked. The last time you actually interviewed Boom was a year ago.
Wow.
I'm
Gotta
still
keep
with. I want my Conwell interview. I wouldn't mind that Prentice Bureau interview.
Oh, tomorrow, body. Matter of fact, we can line it up because you know I'm gonna do the 2-hour joint. I'm glad we got the Prince joint tomorrow. If everything right, it'd be around like 4:30.
Okay.
It's around like 4:30. So I'm gonna start doing. I'm looking for the pictures on them. You know, Tiger Johnson trainer. Yeah. Ohio hit me up, so we got that tomorrow, and that's basically. I don't know if you went and seen Ohio's Instagram, but he posted the conversation when you was talking about Prince
Prentice
on the
Brewer.
live.
Yeah.
You saw it?
I ain't see it.
Yeah. He, and then he was like, I guess the way Prince seen that and was like, oh, okay. And he hit me back like, that's a big favor on. I ain't saying like you give me a favor, but that's a big favor on getting the interview. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to be truly honest with you. You know I gotta research it. Because you pull that nigga out the head, I wouldn't even think about Tiger Johnson's training. And now I gotta interview the nigga.
See, because look, this the thing though, Pop, because you know how we always talk about, man, we gotta think outside the box as far as not just these guys, but we gotta think about fighters going forward. Well, what better to do it than look at some of the coaches that's doing their thing that's going to be around like the next wave, because everybody's stuck on these names, the Reynosos, the popular, the ones that's been around, but we got to look at the ones that is bubbling and it's going to be around for the next 30 years, 20, 30, you know what I'm saying? So he's one of them. So I had my eyes on him, and I like his style. I like the way when I be listening to how he talked to his fighters in the corner or whatever, and he got it, man. He's not older, so he resonate more with him. So, he nice. So yeah, I look forward to that. I just hope that it's at a good time. I just have to pause for the calls whenever that is. I don't know what time it is.
I'm gonna be absolute with this one. It ain't like I can't just go on the phone and check.
But let me go over something else, man. Since,
yeah, 4:30 tomorrow. He free 4:30, so probably around like 5:15.
5.
You know what I'm saying? Because niggas don't be on time.
Okay. All right. Well, shoot, that's good. I'll plan around that. I'll plan around that. But let me bring it home real quick, because you gonna have to roast Tank, but I'm not today. I'm basically talking about how prophetic he is, and I got a bonus that don't just highlight Tank, but it highlights his team and how prophetic they are, and how the masses and the voices on YouTube, how they shape a lot of the conversations around these guys. But in hindsight, things happen and it makes them even more prophetic. That's why I say, and when they seen Tank with Barry, and they were saying, nah, man, he need to just have Calvin and Kenny, and that trio, man, that nucleus, they just need to ride with that, because once this over, once he hang up the gloves, it might be a minute before we get a real trio like that, to get it like that. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to be stars, but what they got and how they do it and the things that they say, just because a lot of people want to be anti, they are prophetic too. And I'm gonna play something real quick. And it's like, it's so crazy, because when it comes to their fighter and their guy, they be going ham. But I want y'all to hear this. Listen to this.
That was the feeling. And I like Devin Haney People like to look at these videos after you post it and they like to write their little shit. Oh, he hating on Dev. He hate. Matter of fact, somebody told me last night, I'm trying to downplay Dev so that they don't even talk about him getting in the ring with Boots. First of all, I never said nothing about Boots, but let's look at the performance. Do we want to see him in there with Boots? It's not going to make sense. Don't make no type of sense. The names are big. The fight ain't big because we know he gonna go do that. Why do we know he gonna go do that? Because that's what we just watched you do. We only gonna judge you by your last performance. When he punched on.
Play that one more time. And that's YSM, man. Giving all credit to YSM because it's his stuff. And I want y'all to listen closely. Cause I gotta give some, you know, I rock with Coach Calvin and them and Coach Kenny and them in the squad. But they gotta get some shine too because they caught a lot of flack. So that's YSM. This is just for this is a copyright disclaimer, just in case people get froggy. This is just for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. That's all this is. I'm giving full credit to YSM. Subscribe to their channel. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna play this again, and I want y'all to really hear what he's saying. I want y'all to hear this. So this time I'm gonna do it without the music. I want y'all to listen.
What was that? I mean, that was the feeling. And I like Devin Haney. People like to look at these videos after you post it and they like to write their little shit. Oh, he hating on Dev. He hate. Matter of fact, somebody told me last night, I'm trying to downplay Dev so that they don't even talk about him getting in the ring with Boots. First of all, I never said nothing about Boots, but let's look at the performance. Do we want to see him in there with Boots? It's not going to make sense. Don't make no type of sense. The names are big. The fight ain't big because we know he gonna go do that. Why do we know he gonna go do that? Because that's what we just watched you do. We only gonna judge you by your last performance.
Because we know that's what he gonna do. So I remember when Coach Calvin said, so he's like, nah, he's like, man, when he said that about a certain fighter, and he was just like, nah, man, so we can do what we do. They always mocking him, and because the Baltimore accent, do what we do, as in put on great performances and actually fight. Like, regardless of your skill set and how you're gonna do it, but entertain. Like, put on a fight that fans want to see. Here you have it. I don't know how many. This is probably 2 years now. Like, this probably 2 years now that Coach Calvin has said it, and here you have Greg Hackett saying this about a performance with Devin in Boots. He said the names are big, but the fight don't make sense. Why? Because we know you're gonna do that, what we just saw. So while Coach Calvin caught all this flack for all this time for saying, listen, man, it's not so that somebody standing there so you can knock them out, because Tank has fought a variety of boxers. He's been going down on this slick black boxer path here lately. He did Frank Martin, and nobody's really seeing him. Now he got Lamont, but he did Ryan. He did these different guys, Barrios. He did these different Cruz, Rowley, all these guys. He done got them all, and put them all in the mix. And all of the fights were entertaining. Because for the most part, everybody pretty much came to fight. Regardless of their style, they came to fight. And now you have Greg Hackett saying it don't make sense because you're going to do that. But I bet they're not going to they're not going to get any criticisms for it, because it's under the guise and they can hide under saying we're just going to judge you off your last performance. And you can judge a lot of boxers by their last performance. You just can't judge certain boxers by their last performance. So I wanted to put it out there, man. Tank and his team, they're prophetic. Tank said a lot of things that people are not really going to respect until they see something that proves what he's saying to be true. Like Rolly having that retarded strength that they say he got. Now everybody know, okay, oh shit, Rolly is cracking. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit that's going on with Turkey and how these boxers are getting treated over there. Certain ones, mainly if you the B side, you might be doing something strange for some change.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. But
I don't consider Frank Martin a top tier fighter. I do. I still think Frank Martin. I like Frank, man. I want him to get at like all this inactivity is not. All this inactivity is definitely not good, and I don't know if that's because Earl ain't fighting, but I'm like, man, Frank, bro, man, like, how long are you gonna take off, bro? Like, and then Crush, the legend, salute. I gotta hit you up, Crush. I forgot I had your number till like yesterday, man. I was about to text you, man, and because I gotta rap to you, Crush. I gotta rap to you, man. I'm probably gonna call you tomorrow sometime or text you, and then you can call me whenever you free. I've been wondering where you been, man, but we gotta rap, man. We gotta rap. But salute to Crush.
Hey, I'll tell you somebody. And AC, since we all up here, right? They kind like here's some real shit. They kind of been building a little network, right? And only certain people get the link and certain shit like that. So I see it, I respect it. And the same way I think that between me, you, and AC, we could do the same shit. And I seen certain shit, right? Like when I host shit, I'm gonna just tell you something. When niggas just be talking out of and don't let niggas get their point across, I kind of seen this shit, bro. That's why I be trying to be like, yo, man, let the nigga get his point across, and then you say something.
Yeah, let's have a conversation, not a yelling match.
Yeah, I was going ham, y'all. I was going ham. I think that was yesterday. I was going ham. I just couldn't. I was at a point where I didn't want to disrupt nobody, because I was using my phone. I had to run another app from my phone at the same time, and I didn't know how that was gonna work. But I'll be seeing it, man. When motherfuckers they just want to keep like to not get to the point, and then not. I talked a little bit about that last night in my live last night when I was like, you can't even get straight answers.
No,
you can't. Like, you'll ask a straight up question and you can't get a straight fucking answer, and that shit burns me up. But then you mention one name, you mind was if you say that with any kind of thing of a strong A vowel sound. Oh yeah, I want to talk about that. It's like, no, but when we ask straight up questions, when the crosshairs is pointed down the alley, you know what I'm saying, and we see the body we pointed at, you can't get no fucking answers. And every 5 minutes, because that shit irritates people. I seen on another channel today where it's a dude, man. The dude, he's so cold. We're talking like I agree, man. It's very rare that I agree with every fucking thing somebody say. That's how I know I'm in the vein, like where I know, okay, it's not just me. I agree with every fucking thing this dude say. So he and the host was going at it today, and the host this man couldn't even get out like 5 words, and then the host would just jump in and cut him off. I was like, see, that's how you know you got somebody.
Yeah.
That's how you know you winning the argument, because the nigga won't even let you talk. It's like, oh, I know where he going. He about to cook my shit, so I'm gonna just start trying to talk over him, and I'm gonna do my best to ask a question in the middle of what he's saying. So it's like, okay, what's the question for? You know what I'm saying? It's easy, it's easy to react to something, but it's hard as hell to respond to the same thing.
Look. You know what I see in here when I see that, AC?
What's that?
Some bitch shit.
Yeah.
Because when you argue, when you've been in a heated argument, you know what I'm saying, with a woman, and then you know what I'm saying, that you got them dead to rights. Like, there's no way around it. It's just all that need to be said is, you know what, I'm sorry, my bad. But every time you go to, when you hit that nerve and you know you in that main vein, they cutting you off. They jumping in. They will not let you, because it does something to the soul. That's some bitch shit. But we men. Most of the time we men. Online, like talking this boxing, most of the time we men. So that's bitch shit. When you won't let a motherfucker finish what they got to say.
How many of y'all seen House Party?
Everybody, I done seen it. I don't know how many times.
So what you smell? What you? I ain't talking about what the Rock smelling, nigga. What you smell? I smell.
What's it? It might be, but
when we talking about that, like certain fighters, certain content creators, certain people that want to jump on and explain their truth. Listen, sometimes we don't want to do it, but when we have time, don't make us get loud. We don't have no problem sweating. I had a towel right there. AC, you saw I had the towel.
Yeah.
Them niggas kept fucking with me. I had to let them know. Nah, y'all trying to get off the topic. You want to talk about this nigga. You want to talk about that nigga. That nigga ain't on the topic right now. We talking about this nigga.
Yeah, listen.
And when we talk
you
about
bring up
this
that
nigga,
name, you ain't gonna have a straight conversation with nobody. You feel what I'm saying? Because, like I said, dudes do their best to buy that ticket to make it to that 5 p.m. train to move the goalpost is the first stop. Second stop is gonna be, deny. That's that little town out there that got that really cool bar. Then it's, you're gonna make the stop at Delusional. You feel what I'm saying? In Delusional, yo, I gotta tell, when you reach Delusional, there's a fucking club over there, bro. They got great drinks.
Oh shit!
For real, man. It's like, god damn, bro. Y'all niggas get on the train and you make sure it stops at every one of the stops, and it's like, okay, so I'm trying to have a conversation with you and put you on to something, but you telling me, you feel what I'm saying? Something that I'm like, okay, so if you telling me something, that means I should be learning something. Don't sit there and say I'm telling you something and it's nothing I done learned or witnessed before. You know what I'm saying? So I just be like, listen, man, I ain't really ready to do this with y'all right now, but I'm just gonna say it like this.
Nah, I had time.
Make your point, land your plane, and let's get into the meat and potatoes of this shit, because you can't.
AC, I had time yesterday.
Yeah, so did I. That's what, it was just like, bro, y'all can't sit there and say what you saying.
Because then when you took that phone call, because listen, when you took that phone call and they was like, AC, get back up here, I'm like, AC don't drop off panels.
Yeah, bro, I'm trying to let them know.
So when they was trying to, because I was like, yo, I sat here and I let y'all jump AC, and AC held his own. They was like, we didn't jump. I was like, cool. So y'all, because y'all trying to call us the Splash Brothers, the Steiner Brothers, I'm not going to allow y'all to tag team me. I'm going to elbow the nigga in the corner, and the nigga that's trying to tag, I'm going to punch him in the face, and I'm going to elbow this nigga, and I'm going to punch him in the face, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to allow y'all to do that.
You had me rolling, bro. I was laughing. I was like, I wanted to get on so bad. I was like, man, Pop ain't having that shit today. But look, it go back to this, man. The I smell pussy. Because look, this the other thing motherfuckers was trying to do. And I peeped this. Motherfuckers was trying to have sensitivity training during the middle of a debate.
Yeah.
Because, and again, it goes back to what Pop said. I smell pussy. because look, you know what else happened when you arguing with a woman, like, and you got her dead to rights? They start talking about your tone. Well, it's not what you say, it's your tone. It's like motherfuckers want to start talking about your tone. Like, we men, like, we get excited about the craziest shit. We be like, oh shit, did you just see? You're not gonna sit up there and be like, oh man, why are you so excited like that,
bro? The tone police have nowhere to be when it come to men.
Exactly. Because it's
What
like,
you
listen,
talking about?
if
you
you
ain't never
passionate
yeah,
about
if you
something,
ain't never
you gonna
yell
raise
at
your
your
voice.
brother that's not from the same mother, then how he your brother? If you ain't never fought him and then came back and how he your brother then? How?
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
crazy shit. It's like, listen, bro. Here's the
I
thing.
don't know where these niggas is built from,
You,
AC
you,
and
you.
body. Where I listen, if I fight you, you fight me, then I know that if we go somewhere,
You got
I'm
my
good
back.
with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like nigga, and when we fight, don't nobody know. Y'all just trying to figure out why we bruised up. It ain't none of your fucking business. Move on.
Yep. Keep it moving, bro. Don't try to break us up because we might flip on your fucking ass.
We gon' flip on you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and that's how it really go, because like shoot, me and AC, we would bump heads all the time at first, but then I saw the character. I was like, see, I could rock with him because he come right back. You know what I'm saying? He gonna talk his shit. He listen, like he, you know what I'm saying? Because we used to bump heads all the time. We got over that shit, and I'm like, man, hey, this is what's up. And me and Pop, we used to link up all the time on what's the name channel, and then you disappeared. But we had already had a rapport because we used to hold that shit down over there. And I noticed that certain people would jump on when we was on there talking. Only certain people would jump on and it'd be cool. So when I don't know what happened, you was gone, and then I seen you somewhere else, and I was like, oh shit, he is still out here. You know what I'm saying? And that's when, but we already knew because we ain't agree on everything all the time. But for the most part, even if we didn't agree, we could still have a productive fucking conversation.
Facts.
And when I'm over there, like sometimes that's why sometimes I'll be peeping the climate, and sometimes I'll gracefully bow out because it don't be no objectivity. It just be like somebody trolling or somebody trying not to get something out there, because believe it or not, they know other motherfuckers is listening.
Man.
And if you can't finish your sermon, if you can't get your message across, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be like, oh yeah, they're going to have that blind braggadocious shit, and your message never get out there when it be good, like, because they don't really be wanting to get cooked like that, and they don't know what they talking about.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you how I met Ohio, bro. Me and him was arguing about, this had to be like 5-6 years ago, bro. We was arguing about, remember when Conor Van was saying he wanted to fight Adrian Broner?
Yeah.
And I was like, AB should fight him. Fuck it, let's go. Because he ain't had a fight like that. The PBC shit was getting crazy. And Ohio was like, we was in a Facebook, and he was like, he ain't got to fight him. We was going back and forth. And out the blue, guess who was like, yo, you should have him on the show and debate him because that nigga is blase blah, blase blah, blase blah. Nigga I used to fuck with that fuck with Jihad. That nigga was trying to pit us together against each other so I could crash out, right? So me and Ohio going back and forth. And come to find out, yo, I fuck with this nigga. We exchanged numbers. Out of that shit, guess who is salty out of that damn interaction? Oh man, you ain't, man, what you talking about? This man stand up. And to this day, years later, I still fuck with him. He's still helping me. But the nigga that was supposed to be helping me, I don't speak to him no more. We niggas is blocked and everything.
Cause we already knew
the show, bro. Like you gotta peep this shit, man. Who the real snakes?
And just to bring it full circle, I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all. Most of the dudes that I hang out with in the street that I'm really, really cool with, we hated each other when we first met, and we just had to scrap it out. And after we scrapped it out, it was like, oh, you mad cool.
You mad cool.
I didn't even know that about you. I'm on the same thing. Yeah, I be doing the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, if you could stand up for your resolve and you could make the confident argument, you feel what I'm saying? Whether you choose to be on the side that's right or wrong, because Pop been up here for 20 years, and I just think this is an East Coast thing. we choose a side, whether we right or wrong, and we'll just argue that side because that's just what it is on that day. Like today I'm on my bullshit, so yeah, I hear what y'all saying, but I don't agree with it.
Hey, bro, at a certain point, if you actually choose that side, like real talk, y'all do know that Loader was told not to fuck with me.
Yeah, you told us.
Not to fuck with me. And for what reason?
But we already know what that one guy was all about. I was telling you behind the scenes, I was like, man, he be popping like we want to, because I had a whole plan. I was like, look, man, he the insider. I could do the graphics and post it up and gel it all up. You almost like the coordinator, like, cause everybody cool with you. They know your personality, so they get in cool with you and shit like that. It was like a good little thing, and I was just like, just let him know. And he was always on some bullshit.
He wanted to cut me out and just fuck with Body.
Like sub dissing and stuff like that. I'll do a video like the last time, like when I was like, man, I got a new favorite fight. One of my new guys, I'm putting him up there as one of my favorite fighters, Charles Conwell. The next day, the nigga did a video with him and was asking, like, the nigga did an interview with him and posted up, like, and then was talking about me because I said, I'm like, so who influenced who then, nigga? Because you ain't interviewing him or talking to him outside of me saying that's one of my new favorite fighters. Like, that's why I got to the point where it's like, man, you don't really know me, man, because I don't play like I'm sensible, man. I do this shit because it keep me from being outside. I don't be outside unless I'm working or something. I don't really go out, like, because that's how I am, man. Like, I'm like, look, I don't want to bother nobody. I don't have no problem with nobody. You know what I'm saying? I've been traveling everywhere dolo. But if it's a problem, it's a real fucking problem. So when somebody go out of their way to let me know that they got a problem, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like, listen, if you ain't got the courage to tell me you got a problem, shut the fuck up. You ain't got a problem. But if you got the courage to tell me a problem,
between the three of us, when we can link up and niggas got time, 3-4 days, 2-3 days. We can definitely. I already spoke to Boom Boom on some real shit. His mom owned the B&B, and he's like, yo, listen, y'all niggas can stay there. All y'all gotta do is hit me up when y'all trying to fly. Listen, I got the link to the jump off with the discount on the flight tickets. You and your significant other, y'all wanna pull up during the fight weekend, just get some footage, just pull up. Y'all good.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it a beam with you, man. Because everything is
my fault. 6-bedroom B&B too.
Yeah, everything is working out, but it's working out at its pace. But what I'm saying is like, once everything gets settled in and all of that, man, please come to this restaurant. Have
nigga,
nigga, just do a whole live, right?
Nigga,
right
you think we not coming to that restaurant after that video that you showed us? Nigga, that's some. Come on, man. That's some shit you want to show you, like, yeah, like on some real shit you want to show wifey, like, yeah, like yeah, like I know this type of shit. I know that type of shit. On the, like, nigga, you done already impressed it a bit for her to be wifey, but you gotta keep letting her know I'm still that nigga. And when you pull up, and when it come to you, AC, and you pull up, the niggas got the cameras or the stream, we about to go live with this shit. Yeah, it worked all the way around when it comes to that, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, nigga, man. It'll be a different environment.
Boom Boom said, you need to. I'm gonna get you that number. Boom Boom is already ready to be trying to promote you all the way out there in Omaha whenever shit drop.
Yeah, yo, listen.
I already told my lady we going up there. I had already told her that day when we were talking about the graffiti and all that. I told her back then that we going up there. So, and then look, you already know I went to the Boozy joint in Atlantic City, and then 2 weeks later I went down. I was in Myrtle Beach, so I don't mind riding. We be, you know what I'm saying?
Man, you was in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, you know what? There's a spot that's in New York that I think AC did they clean all the graffiti off of that building?
Which one?
The one that's got all the had it's like a few buildings that had crazy graffiti from top.
No. What they do now from the handball courts, like each borough has its own graffiti tour.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? To where they take you to all the hot graffiti spots, and then to the best restaurant in that area. So you could do it at a higher level, or you could do it at a lower level. But you plan a trip like that, and you go through Bushwick, you go through Bed-Stuy, you go through mad spots that got Biggie murals up and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Hey, see, I'm just telling you, when it come from the island, you know I'm taking that drugs now.
Yeah.
So you know where I'm going.
I'm
going straight to the Bronx.
Oh, you go through the Bronx and then come through Brooklyn.
And then come through the city. Ain't that how you supposed to do it as a tourist?
Yeah.
It'd be truthfully honest with you, right?
Yeah.
You go through the Bronx, Spanish Harlem, you can see Manhattan if you want to. Then you shoot
the
the
FDR or take the FDR or Second Avenue or what is that? Yeah, or Third Avenue or whatever.
Or Third.
Yeah, I think Third runs down, Second runs up. But either way, you'll get to see all the beautiful parts of Manhattan and everything. The only thing is, bro, if you're gonna do that, man, just keep in mind that, between Bronx, Manhattan, and Lower Manhattan, they may try to charge you 3 different tolls because that congestion traffic bullshit.
That as a tourist, you're gonna pay that because that's the same as going to certain spots and standing in there where you can drive right by and get the mural on your phone. Because
all day.
Fire.
All day.
So
like, if you uptown, stop at, I think it's Third because I think it's like
I hate it for some of you
right
niggas.
There on like 96th Street. There's a handball court. They never ever took it down. Whoever the artist was, the nigga was nice. He took the whole handball court wall and he did a tiger's face. On the opposite side, it's the Statue of Liberty and some other shit. That Statue of Liberty piece was in Rocksteady videos. It was in all these type of movies and shit like that. So
it definitely was.
Yeah.
And I hate it for some of you niggas that you never gonna ever be able to experience the Ave.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're never gonna be able to experience Jamaica Ave.
Yeah. That's something
not the same.
Hey, look, AC, I showed that day when you did that video, I showed my lady that video. I sent it to her. I said, check this out. She was looking at it, and because I heard the music when it was playing, and then she was like, who is that? I was like, that's AC. She was like, who is that? I said, AC did that.
SAC.
You could have seen how big her eyes was, man. Like, her eyes got big and shit. I was like, yeah, and because I'm looking at that, I'm like, man, all that shit is edible, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
then,
bro.
Because I'm over here, I'm big chef up in here, you know what I'm saying? Like Pop said it the other day, he like, I'm the chef. And I feel like a chef, but I kind of feel inadequate.
No, AC, seen that shit, my nigga, and was like, all right, nigga, we gonna put our chef hat down. And when it, like, nigga, when you say grand opening for niggas, don't think we not gonna be up in there with our ladies suited and booted.
Bro,
we up in there, nigga. Nigga, you got some Von Sway shit that you was goddamn cooking. We coming to get some of that, nigga.
Yeah, definitely, man. And trust me, it's even better in real life. And the whole thing I always try to tell people is those videos are just so I could show restaurant insiders. Because the thing is, it's like let's choose a fighter that's nice as hell, defensive, got power, got boxing skills. You feel what I'm saying? Got somewhat of the personality, but there's no machine behind him. That's me. I could beat any champ out there if they just make the fight with me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm coming to show up and show out because I know that Eminem song. I try to live that Eminem song. Seize the moment. And at the end of the day, it's just like, listen, if it's got to happen in this kosher market, and I could do it in a market that people automatically shit on the food and think the food is whatever, and here it is, some dude that's not even observed the Sabbath is just came in there and just rocked this market, that lets all them niggas know you could have never fuck with me. And all you dudes I tried to approach and say, yeah, listen, rock with me, I'm on this other level. You feel what I'm saying? And thinking, oh, just because I got this skin color, oh, I can't be what it is. I never traveled and did all of this other stuff. Yeah, I traveled. The first thing I do when I get over there, I try to find a motherfucker who got some smoke. Whether it be another American or whatever. And strangers kept, I always find them. So I've been high in many other countries, my nigga, for real. So at the end of the day, man, it's like, look, man, that I work hard for that. That was years and years and years of study. You know what I'm saying? Years and years of study. Like I'm in the background now listening to the chat. I mean, rocking with the show and everything. And I'm looking at a dry ager so I could dry age fish. Not like you do with steaks where all the fungus get on it, but just to deal with it texturally. So when you dudes eat this type of fish that I'm gonna make for y'all gonna be like, wait a minute, hold the fuck up.
Yo, AC, where's the
fish?
I'm looking for the video. Where's the fuck? Yo, where the video at?
Huh?
You ain't take that shit down, did you?
Nah, not at all, my nigga. Not at all. That shit is still there. That shit is still there. But at the end of the day, bro, listen, man, I'm just trying to do what I'm trying to do. So, you know, for the reasons why people like Tank, because Tank has that hood quality about him. I want to be that genuine chef that's doing that type of food in that type of environment. And it's like, yeah, I get on the train or get in my car or on my motorcycle and I go back to the hood. I ain't going to no secluded neighborhood and all of this other shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because the hood is my inspiration. Y'all may look at it as whatever, but I look at all the different nationalities that's here and say, why can't I do it? Why can't I take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that? This is Brooklyn. You know? So at the end of the day, I just wanna get y'all in there, do that live, sit at the table, people will see, you know, the whole experience and shit like that and be like, oh, these niggas is on, they content creators and they on some other shit, like these niggas is in some high level restaurant talking boxing, chilling. Damn.
Hey, look.
Damn. And eating good. Damn.
Look, this kind of like how I reeled my lady in, man. We first started talking. I sent her some food porn, man. I sent her pictures because I used to take pictures of everything I cook, and I started sending pictures. She was like, "You ain't cooked that." I was like, "Yes, I did. I do this. You know what I'm saying? I don't be eating out like that. That shit be fucking my stomach up. I gotta cook." Yeah. You ain't, and then no, you didn't. You ain't do that. And then it was my breakfast. I did. She came over. I gave her that breakfast. It was a wrap, man. I was like, it was a wrap.
Ask my girl right now how I bagged her. I just, you know, I'd seen that at like she used to have people babysit her kids and stuff like that, her youngest and stuff like that while she was at work. So I'm seeing this, so I just pressed and was like, look, I'm a chef of this restaurant. It's about to open up and stuff like that. I'd love for you to come, and the treat is on me. Just bring yourself and, you know, a great attitude, and you'll have a great meal. Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying?
Man, y'all talking that? Hey, hold on, hey babe, how'd I get you? How'd I get you? Cause I can cook.
Oh yeah.
You like to eat?
Yes.
You looking at AC videos right there?
Oh, yes, I am.
That's AC making that right now.
Oh, thanks.
What you looking at right now? That's AC. We going to that when he say grand open.
Okay.
Right here with it. I'm right here with it. No, that's all gourmet. That's where we going. Free. When he say eat, you get to eat that right there. Like everything that he's showing, like it's gonna be a tasting. That's exclusive in Manhattan. That's where we going.
Okay.
All the way out from the fucking boonies, bro. These niggas out here, bro. Listen to me, y'all. I've never seen. I'm from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I've been living in New York 20 years, but when I moved to Master Beach, these are the worst drug addicts I've ever seen before in my motherfucking life, bro. You do not understand. These niggas are on cocktails of drugs, bro. This is not what a real nigga is used to. Like, I've got to get the fuck out of here.
Shit, don't come
down. The only reason I stayed is because I'm by the water. So when I go to the beach and the water parks and shit, I'm 5 to 10 minutes away. And I got young kids, so you know they love the beach and shit like that.
Yeah, don't come down here then, man. Cause these motherfuckers be hunched over.
Oh no. I know what parts to North Carolina to already go to. I've already been inquiring.
I be seeing they be out here bad, man. That's why I'm like, I be riding by Upton Gym. I ride by there at least. It's like right there. Like I literally go. I probably pass the Baltimore. I probably pass the stadium like 10, like shit. Sometimes 20 times a day. Like it's right there. I could get off the phone. I'll be over there. I could be at the stadium in about, I don't even know if it takes 5 minutes. With a Ray, you know what I'm saying? Look, Ray Lewis. Well, now it's Lamar's. You know what I'm saying? But it's bad out here, man. It's bad out here. Me and my lady talk about it all the time, man. I took her down there. I don't know why I took her down there to Myrtle Beach, man. She want to move down there to South Carolina. I was like, don't say that. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first got back up here, I was depressed like a motherfucker, man. Because I'm from DC. I grew up in PG, and I went to the Army, and when I got out, I stayed in South Carolina in Columbia. When I left Columbia and came up here, I got depressed, bro. Like instantly, I was like, "What the fuck?" And it took me a while to like kind of get used to being in Baltimore. Now it's like it's you know, after a while you used to moving around and shit. But like, I'm like, man, we at least gotta go out a little bit. We kind of got to get away from the heart of the city, bro. Like for real. Like that's why I say you'll never catch me shitting on nobody like Tank or nothing like that. Like I have my fair share of criticisms, but for him to do what he did to get up out of this shit, bro, people just don't know. And when people say he's scared of this, I'm like, bro, come to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Just come to Baltimore. It's just like the people from Philly. Like when you be like, because I heard somebody shitting on Gabe Rosado, and I was like, man, if your fighter had to come up through Philly, that nigga would have never even went pro.
And this is why, you know, at times I talk to dudes and, you know, I was like, I don't know who this guy is anymore, because to know Newark, New Jersey, you feel what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. I don't know how it is, you know, by the time Shakur was born, but I know how it was, you know, when the couple of times I went through Newark to go check some people out. You feel what I'm saying? And I was like, God damn, this shit is ghetto. Like this shit is like movie ghetto. Like you know what I'm saying? And I was just surprised, and you know, but the people that was there, you know, like the people that I went to go check out and shit like that, it was nothing but love. You feel what I'm saying? But just the state of the hood, I was like, yeah, this shit is rough out here. It's like Brownsville. It's like East New York. And that's why it was like, all right, that's one of the things, knowing that Shakur was from Newark, I was like, oh yeah, this little nigga come from yeah, he comes from the mud. Like, yeah, I'm expecting to see it, and then to see him fight, and the way he was fighting, that aggressiveness, that I'm willing to stand right in front of you and fuck you up type of attitude. I was like, oh my God, this little nigga is a threat. He is a problem. You feel what I'm saying? Out of all the young fighters back then, Shakur was my number one guy. You know what I'm saying? And then I started to notice the more famous you get, and the more you're not talking the way I'm expecting a dude from Newark to talk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, let me think. What part of Newark did you come from? Were you were you like a dude that grew up in the projects and shit like that? There's dudes that come up here, but they don't never go outside. You feel what I'm saying? When they do go outside, these dudes is got weird looking clothes on and riding skateboards and shit like that, and you just like, how you live in this building? How you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, bro, it's just like that was the biggest disappointment, because I was like, damn, I kind of know where this dude kind of come from, but he ain't like them people that I knew back then. Or maybe the shit just changed like that. Maybe it's gentrified like Bed-Stuy is right now. Bed-Stuy ain't the same Bed-Stuy that Biggie talked about, that Big Daddy Kane talked about. You feel what I'm saying? That Rosie Perez lived in, Josie lived in, when they was roommates. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't that same. It ain't the same thing. It's bike lanes, yoga shops, coffee shops, and all of this other stuff. But at the end of the day, man, it's we kind of get caught up in the yesteryear stuff, and maybe that might be a little unfair, because I see how Brooklyn's changed, and for me to think Newark hasn't changed like that. So there's some days I'll be like, you know what, let me ease up on the kid. You know what I'm saying? Then you go and say some delusional shit like you did the other day. You feel what I'm saying? For me, when it came down to that, and bringing things kind of full circle, when I look at where Tank came from, you know what I'm saying? Just in passing, just with dudes that I know from B-More, like we called it up here, we call it B-More. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just from people I know that was running down at B-More, getting money in B-More. Some dudes went down there and never came back. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
New York niggas went down there and never ever came back. Got gutted and all kind of shit, found in the car, slumped over on the side of a road. So it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And to see a young fighter in the field, and to find out that where he come from is still like that, it's like, yeah, you gotta respect this little nigga gangster. And then to go back and buy up property, it's like,
it's like this. It's like,
yeah.
I kind of felt the same way. AC, I was when I heard that interview, I was sitting in the car like, I was like, man, it's official, man. I don't even know this dude. I mean, not like I knew him, but like what I knew of him, I walked away from the same thing. And now you gotta think, I was just in Atlantic City, and me and my lady was talking. We went out, we did we went and got something after the fight. We went out, whatever, where we were staying, and we was at the hotel, and we were looking at the surrounding, but we was just, for that period of time we was there, we was just evaluating. And I just talked about Baltimore, but guess what? We couldn't wait to get the fuck back home.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, I'm in Baltimore, so I'm kind of like, I guess I'm kind of immune to it, like a little bit, because I'm here. And then I seen how DC changed, like, because it used to be to where you wouldn't catch nobody jogging at night, like I couldn't even, like, certain places jogging, walking your dog, going down that alley. At this time, no. So everything has changed, but to hear somebody like that, like to hear Shakur speak the way he spoke in that interview, but then to go back and listen to like Tank, like y'all, even this little point right here, when him and Lamar was going back and forth, he talked this shit, he was calm and all that, and then it got to a point to where he was like, he said something like, he told him don't bring Mom Dukes or whatever. Like, just like when he said, don't bring her, Yeah. But then when she actually showed up, his his mindset was, I can't even. He's like, you bought your mom. Like it told me a lot, because he was just like, you bought it. Like he couldn't even he refused to. He couldn't even allow himself to like talk the way he would normally talk, because the dude mother was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's a lot of stuff that was just like, man, like to come out of a spot like that and still like be that kind of killer inside the ring, but then still have the decency.
Respect for somebody's moms. Like I know
exactly,
this dude, man. So I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Around his mom, it's like me going to his house or being in his yard. I'm not gonna curse or whatever. And even if I do, I'm gonna be like, put my hand over my mouth and be like, oh, yo, my bad. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we be grown ass men and we'll catch ourselves doing some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Because your man was like, nah, I'm over my mom's crib helping her move some stuff. Yo, you mind helping me? Nah, nigga, you know I got you. How your mom doing? Blah blah blah. And you go over there and you just talking regular now that y'all grown men with kids and all of that. And you be like, yo, did you not see that bitch ass nigga, man? And you like, oh, yo, my bad, bro.
Yep.
Like, yo, I don't think she heard you. Yo, but my bad. And you like, damn, I'm 35 years old and I'm still acting like this, brother. Yeah, these are my peeps right here. You know, so to see fighters keep that kind of respect and stuff like that, man, it's like, yeah, when they tell you something or they reluctant to do something, you know, maybe instead of criticizing a person, just really see what the deal is. David Benavidez found a nice little comfortable spot, something that may work for him. But the crazy shit is, like you said earlier, Body, why the fuck then would the Turk turn around and say, I don't want that fight?
Yeah.
Like, did you not just do David Benavidez a huge disservice? Because we was talking, once he got up there, yeah, he's supposed to get the winner of B-Ball versus blah, blah, blah. And now what? What changed? Should David Benavidez be dropping the Shakur tweet? You feel what I'm saying? What changed? Promised me some shit. He going back on his word on.
Yeah, what changed was the agenda. The agenda kind of got exposed. This wasn't really. You could say, yeah, you're a boxing fan, but like you got to think, he wasn't exclusive just to boxing. He was just willing to put a percentage of that bag he got towards boxing in an effort to have his thumb on everything. Now he realized that there's certain pieces that he can't move or manipulate the way he wants. Now it's like, well, I don't want that. Well, it's like, hold on. We thought you won the biggest, best fights. We thought you was a real boxer fan. It's like, oh, you a casual. That's really what happened. Yeah. He got found out as a casual who he know. Because listen. If you don't think that Tank was prophetic and you think that I was just shitting on a Turk for no reason, you gotta listen to what Shakur said. Shakur said he gotta learn more. He don't know. Shakur, the dude who he just gave according to Shakur, his highest payday, he turned around and said, this man don't even know what he doing.
Yeah.
And he got a fight on deck. That's what happened. Some of the things he was about to
learn more about boxing and who's the best boxers and stuff like that. Like, whoa. That's kind of, when Shakur was saying that, I'm like, so what are you saying? I think he was more so saying that because he didn't want to directly just insult the Turk again by saying, yeah, I thought that was some stupid shit for them to put me, you know, not as the main event on this card when I'm the most accomplished fighter. Yeah, but you're the only fighter on that card that people has labeled as boring. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, when I want to, you know, if I'm going to sell my Benz, I'm not going to, you know, wait till a rainy day and then go drive it in the dirt field and then tell people, nah, the car is as is. I'm going to shine it up. I'm gonna polish the wheels. I'm gonna do all kind of shit to make sure, you know, the car's looking the best. So you know, even if I just have it sitting there with the for sale sign, people gonna stop and or take pictures and whatever and get back to me like, yo, how much are you selling it for? Shakur, you're not that shiny Benz. You're the one that's been driven in a mud field on a rainy day and nobody washed it. They allowed that mud to cake up and get dry. You gotta understand that. You gotta also understand that, listen, bro, when you watch Gladiator, you saw Marcus Aurelius doing this thing. But what the old boy tell him? You want your freedom? Win the crowd.
And then, yeah, that's one of my favorite movies too.
For sure.
It used to be at the end of my videos. I used to have a period of time when I used to, are you not entertained? Are you not? That's how my shit used to go out. Are you not entertained? Like, but this is another thing. Shakur got to learn this one thing, man. And I don't want to turn this into a whole, because it's not about Shakur, but I'm gonna say this: Shakur got to learn that everything there's a saying. They say everything that's lawful is not expedient.
Yes.
Meaning that just because you can do it or say it, that don't mean it's gonna always work in your favor. Because I'll be looking at you sideways. Like if you had a contract with me and you was running one of my vehicles and I was doing something with you and I just gave you more money than you ever seen for whatever kind of contract, and then I catch you saying some crazy shit and we still got other things, I'm gonna be looking at like, man, hold on, man. At least get through the tenure of whatever it is we got going on, and then afterwards, you know, because it's this habit of just like the things he said about Top Rank on his way out, like, and how he felt. But it's like, well, some of that's one-sided. And this just like earlier yesterday when I did the live, and I said, man, when you're dealing with the CON conspiracies, right? Like when you start talking about the CON conspiracies, and in real time, people were saying, nah, man, this is what happened, and this, and people, oh man, there you go. And then 10 years, 15 years later, they actually showing videos and telling you by the numbers that no, this is what happened, but we knew that in real time. It's like he does a lot of those things, and it's in time that we're figuring it out because the information is coming out later, like the whole Jermaine Ortiz fight, him having a signed contract, like Navarrete having a signed contract, like all these things we find out, but in real time, people just capping for them. But it's like when this information come out, it make you look bad. So we got to look back and be like, damn, what else was we lied to about? Or what else, you know? So he got to learn how to, I think this is a matter of him being, I don't think this, he probably still is in touch and in tune, because I seen the interview with Najee and they did it in the hood. If he wasn't welcome there, they wouldn't tolerate it. They'd be like, oh man, this bougie. They'll probably put foot to ass if they caught him out there if he wasn't welcome. So I think this is more of him being around some of the aristocrats or some of the people that got all this, and him picking up this air of, you can kind of almost say snobbiness, like almost like a little bit like, and then just trying to impress.
Yeah, that's the same. I'm gonna say it like this. That's the same issue that Devin has. It's like, Duke, you're already a rich kid. Why are you acting like you're from the hood? That doesn't impress nobody. I'm impressed with you because you're a rich kid that don't gotta do this shit. You don't have to sit there and be punched in the face. But this is what you choosing to do. So if this is what you choosing to do, we don't need the facade. We don't need the smoke and mirrors. We don't need the mask. You know what I'm saying? Just be you. Just that's all. And if you would have been you and been more genuine, you feel what I'm saying? Your social media following would be crazy. Because these young kids love to hear about love to hear from the kid that got money and could do a lot of things and just do stupid things with their money. You feel what I'm saying? Like we see some of these influencers fill a fucking house 4 feet with plastic balls and shit like that. And then jump off the thing. Yeah, I filled my house with with 10 million plastic balls and jumped off my stairway. Shit be having like 7 million views. So it's like, Dev, this is who you could have been and still boxed. You would be in the same stratosphere as, you know, having that sale and that marketability as a Jake Paul and KSI and you know some of the dudes we was talking about yesterday and Ryan Garcia's and people like that. And people would be like, nah, I don't give a fuck about what Bill say, man. That's just a rich kid that box, man. If you're a fan of his, you're a fan of his. If not, yeah, you feel what I'm saying? And they be you know, but you didn't come across as genuine like that. So this is the problem with some of these young fighters. They don't have an identity coming into the game because they feel, oh, I gotta fit the stereotype and the stigma of boxing that only the best fighters have the story of coming from the hood and pulling themselves up and making it out of the ghetto and stuff like that. No, that's Tank's story. That's not your story.
Yeah, and then see, you just now touched on what I was getting ready to say as far as identity, and I was going to ask you this: do you think it's more of what they think the industry is demanding from them? Because I remember when Bob here came on and said basically that these fighters won't promote themselves, basically trying to tell them that they should use the social media and do all this, and I think somewhere along the way that message kind of got misconstrued, because when you look at it, for all of, like, when you really look at it for like critically, if you really look at it, this video is about the one, you know what I'm saying, Tank, right? Yeah. But for the most part, you don't catch him doing the things that some of the things that Shakur's doing, some of the things that Devin doing, and then I know you heard this other thing where people are like what, 7 months late now with this TO shit, when I jumped on it like immediately.
Yeah.
And he doubled down on it again.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because they think that that's what the industry is demanding from them, so they're acting in a way to kind of sell whatever they think is going to, like, either paint them as a villain or get the controversy or something?
Hell yeah. Because what they're not understanding is, or they may have the misconception is that, you know, everybody has to be this, and, you know, I gotta be gangster with mine, I gotta troll with mine, I gotta, you know, and it's like, no, all you gotta do is be you. T.O., who you were before, when you was just being you, that cool, fun, you know, happy, you know, go lucky kid, crack jokes, kind of smiling and shit like that. Everybody loved you. Then this T.O. right here, you figuring, you know, well, maybe I'll do the villain thing. You feel what I'm saying? Are you doing the villain thing because, you know, you're feeling that your skill set is slipping? You know what I'm saying? So now you're more worried about, you know, yeah, I'm still not getting the money I want. Maybe I'm not the boxer I think, so maybe if I do this and that and can really bring this type of drama, you know, it'll help sell my fight. No, it's not gonna help sell your fight being a racist prick. It's not. It's actually going to now detract from it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you might pick up more fans, but these are not the fans you want to represent you.
And the kind of fans that you're going to pick up from that, as soon as you get your ass busted like a grape, man, yep, they're going to go in even worse because of the nature in which they started following you.
Yep. And that's the point I'm saying. So it's like, look, you know, you got Keyshawn, Loma, and Tank. I'm gonna put Keyshawn in it right now because he's pretty much being himself. You feel what I'm saying? His persona is the businessman. You feel what I'm saying? You got Mason, who's definitely being himself. You know, Loma was always himself. He didn't try to play no role. It was who he was. This and that. Tank has been Tank. You feel what I'm saying? He's been the kid since, I guess, he made his first million or whatever. You see Tank pull up in a fur coat and a Ferrari. That's who he's always been. He was fucking Doja Cat. You feel what I'm saying? Pulling up with her half naked in a fur coat and him. That's how he's showing up to fights and, you know, and other fights, other people fights. So it's like he solidified himself to be like, yeah, I'm that young, you know, I'm that young star. Yeah, I bagged the old cougar right here. She may not be a cougar in y'all circles, but you know, she older than me and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Tank, I was like, oh, whoa, respect to that little nigga, bro.
Dang, but AC, you know what? You just man, you just confirmed something else he said that was so prophetic. He said, man, he's like, man, they want to be like in my spot and do what I do. He said, but most of them wouldn't even know what to do if they got it in Eureka.
Yeah,
they get a little glimpse of it and they showing and being them like, because I ain't gonna lie, man, I was disappointed in Shakur. It's like, man, I gotta keep it to him with like inside the ring. Like that shit was like, I just didn't even understand it. And then that dude Danza, like, I don't like him anyway. I don't like him anyway. And so for him to be over there talking like that and doing that, I walked away from that. Like, I don't even know this kid no more, man. Like, this dude, because even though like Tank is my number one guy, I still had love for Shakur. Like, now I'm like, man, I don't even know this dude. Like, I just got to keep it straight to when they say ding, 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 like, he's officially there. He's officially there. And like you said, Keyshawn is really being himself. I think he get a little wild every now and again, but like, I could honestly say, like, Keyshawn really being himself. He hasn't really done anything. Like, he's still, as long as he stay like that, because he's still I would say he's arrived to where everybody knowing him, but he's still gonna glow up more. And I just hope that as he glows up, he don't, you know what I'm saying, change like too much, other than, you know what I'm saying, some things gonna change. Because like 50 said, people say money don't change you. He's like, yes it do. It's like, yeah, it kind of do, but not you at your core. Like, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't anyway.
Yeah, because the person I always use as to say money, for some people it doesn't change you. You know, I'll talk about a person like Eminem. And people will look at me and say, why Eminem? I said, because even after his millions, that nigga wore a basic pair of what he would call white tennis shoes, gray sweatpants, and an all-white plain t-shirt. That was his look. No matter where you seen Eminem, that was his look. And sometimes he'll throw on a blue sweatshirt over that. So it's like, yeah, he stayed true to who he was at his core and never let the money really affect him and wanting to be seen in Gucci and Prada and all of that other stuff. He's like, I don't give a fuck about that. They don't wear that where I'm from.
I would say a good example to apply to Shakur, a good example for him would be, look at Redman.
Yeah.
If you look at Redman and all the opportunities and all the money and all of the, Redman is still the same fucking Redman after all this time. Even though Method's starting to glow up more and acting and all that, Redman is still the same fucking Redman.
Yeah.
No matter what, he's still Redman. Yep. He didn't have to do that. He don't have to act like that. Redman might digging his nose in front of you or something just to be funny or clown, or he's still giving charity to people and paying for people's college.
Look at what he did. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying he's still paying for people to go to college, and he's still like, even though you know he got bread, you know he got, you know, and he's one name for famous. Like when you one name famous, and you still like that, like to where it's like, I don't expect to see, like if I ever bumped into Redman, I wouldn't expect nothing different than what he's always shown me. And he's from New Jersey. He's like one of the pillars, like him, Joe Budden. There's a couple people that you can say, all right, you automatically say, okay, they Jersey. Like you see them and you know that that's Jersey. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, Redman, Tretch, couple of these dudes is what that is. Now, here's the thing: people will see Redman and not even realize you're just looking at Reggie Noble. You feel they'll forget that that's just Reggie Noble. But at the end of the day, that's a great solid point, because I was gonna say, look at what he did in exposing MTV Cribs.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga was in that little ass apartment. He was like, "Yeah, that's how I make grilled cheese with the iron. With the iron, I heat the iron up and toast the bread with it." I was like, "Yo."
I think he said the doorbell didn't work. He's like, I still ain't fixed that motherfucker. It's just, it's just
Like,
word to the young people, man. Word to the young people and these guys, man. Like, if you got a fan base and you've grown and you've attained the heights that you attained, go back to BU University, man. I know you down in Houston. I mean, you down there with Jay, and you rub elbows with Andre, and you can call and FaceTime with Floyd whenever you want, and Bud. That's like Uncle Bud to you, but it's like, find yourself again. T.O., I'm almost like done with it, because when I was on it 7 months ago. I did some shit the day after he said, I said, we got to nip this shit in the bud. And I had that thumbnail that went crazy. Everybody was looking at that video, but everybody was acting like I was speaking Greek and foreign when I said, nope, let's nip this shit in the bud. Now, today, yesterday, everybody talking about the shit. Now it's like, it's too late now. It's like, man, T.O., he gonna make his bed and lay in it. We know what he is. But all this fake late outrage now because it's the cool thing to do because he offended your favorite fighter, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
T.O. need to go back to BU University. Devin need to go back to BU University. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be you, man. And you're gonna, what's coming for you or what's gonna get there, you're gonna get there with hard work and doing what you need to do right by the sport and taking advantage of your business opportunities. But these characters and these people that we're seeing now out and about and that you're trying to demonstrate to the public, we know it's not you.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's my plane landed right there, man. I think Tank was very prophetic. And he's gonna be one of them guys where you're not gonna appreciate him what he bring inside the ring, and then for him to be that savage inside the ring, the kind of characteristics outside the ring when you look at it, it's like a lot of that shit was just public people being messy and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to try to be like Tank, be like Tank.
Yeah, and be yourself. That's the best way. You want to be like Tank? How about being yourself? Because he being himself. Don't worry about the Tank money. If you being yourself, you gonna make the Shakur money or the Dev money. You feel what I'm saying? That's how that shit works. But at the end of the day, man, like, with Tank speaking on the things he speaks on, you have to give that man credit. Because a lot of these fighters haven't seen what he's seen. Haven't experienced what he's experienced and things like that. And the dude is still genuine. You could tell he's genuine, where in the things that he says and does, because it definitely, you hear it as something being genuine. It ages like things that are genuine. Just like I was trying to explain to a young fighter, last night and saying, listen, bro, you're in a generation, and by the time you turn pro, that perception is reality shit is going to be the leading thing. Because, you got to understand, if this is what everybody perceives of me, then I'm that until somebody has the balls to prove me wrong, the balls or the skills to prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's what's called the eye test. You know what I'm saying? The eye test is a perception of reality. I'm perceiving this guy to be great because look at what he's doing to these opponents until he gets in there with somebody and then they find out, oh, he doesn't know how to cut off the ring. Oh, he doesn't block the left hook. Oh, he has no defense. Then that reality is shattered because now you finally reach someone who could test that reality. So when you got a guy that everyone is saying, He's this, he's that, he ain't did this, he ain't did that, why he doing this, why he ain't doing that. These are guys who are trying to sell you on a certain perception. Because if you ask them, well, how did we get here? Oh, because Tank don't want to fight nobody. Okay, so if he doesn't want to fight anybody, who walked away from the fight? Tank or Loma? Yeah, but that's nah. I don't even want to talk. I don't really care. But I'm just saying he don't want to fight nobody. Oh, okay. So you're trying to sell me a perception and have me make your perception my reality. Nah, that shit is not working. You feel what I'm saying? So when I when you come over here or you go to Pop Station or you listen to Crush, you feel what I'm saying? You'll see me there because this is the places where I know I can go and have great boxing conversation. You know what I'm saying? Just have really solid boxing conversation. To whereas we're making points, we're looking at things from the past, we're looking at things presently, and we're looking at things from the future. This is why we can say things and then watch it unfold later on and be like, well, we cooked on that like 7-8 months ago. We cooked on that like 3 months ago. And look at it. You know what I'm saying? This is why people come in here and they love the playback game. Because the playback game gives them content. And that's where I land my plane.
Good points, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through, man, and kicking that boxing knowledge and all them analogies you be using, man. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, man, and I'm gonna get out of here.
For sure, bro.
All right, bro. Till the next time. Well, we had another good one, man. I appreciate it, man, when my homies, man. I appreciate it when my homies come through and they kick it with me, man. We love boxing, man. We love that boxing talk. I'm gonna play my little thing. But that's the whole thing was, man, really to highlight. The whole purpose of the video was really to highlight a lot of the things that Tank said. And he's proven to be very prophetic in many different areas. Not saying that you need to hang on his every word or his word is the gospel and all that. It just looked at it as a lot of the opponents he fought, when they fought him, it was like, oh, it's all these excuses and how he was able to do that. Even if you look at the fact that he just took a knee against Lamont Roach, and that was like the talk of the town for like a month after, like all day, every day. And you have somebody like Inoue get knocked down and get visibly hurt. And everybody say, oh, he's a warrior, and that's what it means in this country. Just if you take that, they taking punishment is all. If you listen to Tim Bradley and how he talk about Inoue, and then you listen to how he talk about Tank, the only difference is accolades. That's the only difference. But the warrior spirit, taking punishment, is just like, man, a lot of the things that the dude says, they age like fine wine. A lot of things that this camp says, they age like fine wine. And we in a time where, man, one day, man, them and the team, they gonna hang up the gloves. And we all know tomorrow ain't promised, but I think that he one of them guys that you're not really gonna appreciate many of the things that he do until he hang up the gloves. And we got a glimpse of it when Sean Zattel was interviewing him, and he kept saying, "No, Tank, you really gonna be done, man? You really retiring?" Like a dude like Sean Zattel, who spent a lot of his time shitting on the dude or posing questions and big upping people and embellishing on other people just to shit and be smirked the name of Tank. This nigga sound like his cousin was, just got slain the way he was acting when he found out that Tank said, "Yeah, man, I'm about to be out of here, man. This boxing stuff is not, it's blah, blah, blah." Long story short, he basically saying, I just want to fight. You know what I'm saying? And just watch these guys, man. Look at these guys. Look at what he said about Turk. Look at all this unfold. And stop being such a hindsight is 2020 looking ass. Listen to the people like the content creator like myself who be telling you shit in real time. I swear this was back in October, November when I did that video about T.O. Look at it. It got Tim Bradley in a suit slipping on a banana peel and him and Zattel. I break down that whole interview. And people are frustrated about it yesterday and today and saying this gotta stop. It's like y'all late. But if you speak about boxing and the things that are happening with an objective to have a clear-cut message and stand on business, you won't be a hindsight looking ass. You know the root of the channel with silence is consent, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men to remain silent, and I add women. This is that fruits and veggies, not that Reggie, that fact-based content, not opinion-based. Even though I have my own opinions, I'm not always right. I don't have a lot of quantity. But what I do take pride in is the quality in the message. Just look and observe. Catch the playback. If you catch the playback, talk to me. I'll talk back. I look forward to continuing to talk boxing, whenever I get a chance. Till the next time. Thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. Well, we don't take things for face value. We do that body.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay. You want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.